Hey everybody, so in 2018, I grew up in Westbrook, Connecticut. In 2018, which was my senior year of high school, there was a student who had access to a gun, had a plan, and was going to shoot up the school, but thankfully he told another student, and the school, lockdown occurred, and the school was locked down before anything could have happened. That story is all too common with students in my generation, and in 2018 there was a school shooting every 2.5 days on average, and that's only increased since. So this is the reason why I got into public safety, and the reason why I founded Prepared. Essentially, what Prepared is trying to do is trying to streamline and improve the emergency response process across the United States. And we're really tackling this by focusing in on 911 centers and the way that 911 calls work. So if you think about a 911 call, if you call 911, the operator on the other side needs to do a bunch of things. They need to figure out where you are, they need to figure out what's happening, they need to follow one of 100 protocols based off of their standard operating procedures. They need to summarize that information, they need to send it to a responder going on scene, and they need to get that officer to actually unify with you properly. It's a lot of things for one person to do in a situation where every second counts. It's very stressful, and they're constantly fighting their tools in order to do this job. This is what it looks like on their screen. There's around 7 to 10 different programs and interfaces they need to work with in a single call that can last 1 minute to 2 minutes. So at Prepared, our goal is to decrease the stress on these dispatchers, make it easier for them to perform their job, and ultimately save lives. So how we're doing this? We're focusing in on 2 different ways. The first is this idea of live video to 911, and the second is this idea of AI agents added onto 911 calls. So do you mind going to the video? I'll demo what the live video side looks like. So in a situation, say a caller is in an emergency and their friend's unconscious and they know what to do. What we allow that 911 operator to do is instead of telling them how to perform CPR, typically they would explain, put your hand 2 inches below the nipple line, interlace your fingers, and pump up 120 beats per minute. Instead of hoping that they're doing it right, they can get a live video feed from that caller, and they can assess what's actually happening, giving corrective instructions to that CPR. That situation I just described actually has happened dozens of times in our centers, and resulted in a first life saved on our system 2 weeks into launching. This solution on live video has been really well received by the United States, and is actually being natively integrated into iOS 18. So we're actually rolling this across the United States today. It's available in around 1,000 centers across the country. The second thing we're doing is this idea of AI agents added onto 911 calls. There's a lot of situations where the callers, for example, is not speaking English. We're able to transcribe, translate other languages, even to talk back to 911 callers in other languages. Making it easier for 911 operators to communicate, as well as automating their procedures and protocols. We've had immense traction, so in the last 2 years we've gone from being in 30 cities to actually now being in 1,000, covering around 25% of the US population, helping on millions of calls a year. We're hiring aggressively. Right now we're 56 people, we're hiring to be around 75 by end of the year. We just raised our Series B, led by A16Z, 27 million, raised around 56 million to date. We're hiring across engineering, product, and design, and we're based in New York. Half the team's here, half the team's fully distributed across the United States. If you're interested, we're building a lot of new products from 0 to 1. We're focusing in on each of those screens that you saw the operator had to deal with. We're drilling down and slowly solving different problems related to it. The next one that we're tackling is this idea of radio and communicating information to field responders to make their response process faster. So if you're interested, text me. Happy to chat after. Yeah.